right, here we go. We're live. Wait, I think we're live. All right, here we are live.
Yes, Jim. Are you sure? You're sure we're live?
Yes, we're live. Live on the Metal Voice.
What a surprise! Out of the
Blindsided, Alan.
blue.
Blindsided. Blindsided.
Nobody saw it coming.
There were
Everybody's
hints.
walking around with erections.
I didn't see it coming. I don't think anybody saw it. You know what? To
That's
keep
great.
such a secret like that from the music community, hats off to Metallica. Hats off to them.
Metallica. A teaser today. New
So here we go.
song.
Here we go.
The needle's on the vinyl.
Last second show here, Alan. I'm just
Yes,
bringing
I
up the
know.
notes. All right. The album is going to be called 72 Seasons. It's going to be released on April 14th, 2023. And there's going to be a world tour following the album. They're going through Europe. They're coming through Canada, the US, and going back to Europe. And Montreal is two of the dates.
Yes, that's the good news. The bad news is they're going to be performing at the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, but it's going to be a 360. So
All
they'll
right.
be like
Yeah,
situated in the middle.
the sound will be 362.
Bouncing off the walls. The last show I saw at the Olympic Stadium, guess what it was?
Metallica.
Police.
Oh, okay.
Back in 1984.
I
And you know what?
I refuse to see a show there, so I have no comment on what the sound is like. You can tell me.
But if they put it was horrendous. But if they put it in the middle, it might help. It just might help.
Yeah, the echo might last longer. Yeah,
That's right. On August 11th and August 13th in Montreal.
a year from now. Oh my gosh.
Well, not a year from now, but in the next year, we'll say, right? So they come out with this new song, Blindsided again. The tour was a blindside. The new song was a blindside. The album coming out was a blindside.
That's good. Hats off. I like that. I like that. That's good. It's getting
Yeah.
you here. Here's your stuff 4 months in advance. Don't talk to anybody before this date. Don't mention the name before this date. These guys are just like, this is what we're happening here. It's out there.
Now here's the good and the bad. For the Pantera lovers out there, this is great news because they're opening on one of the dates. Five Finger Death Punch is opening on the second date, or vice versa, however they want to do it. There's also Wolfie Van Halen, who's going to be opening as well as this other band that I can't remember their name right now. If anybody knows who they are, please advise me.
It's not Wolfie's band Mammoth, no?
Yeah, Wolfie's Mammoth.
Yeah.
Wolfie's
Okay.
Mammoth. I don't know. I mean, you think of Raven. Oh, Ice Nine Kills. That's who the other band is. Thank you, BFJS, Michael. So it's Ice Nine Kills. Wouldn't it be better to have Raven instead of Ice Nine Kills? Maybe Anthrax. Throwing him Megadeth, perhaps. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old school. I'm too old, Alan. Overkill.
You're giving me that impression.
Look, I get the math, the business math that they want to do, bringing the young folks, bringing the young crowds to Metallica. I get that. And if they put in Raven, they're scared it's just going to be you and me there, right? But anyways, all right. So let's get to the
John
song.
Gallagher had enough with that head microphone at a small club that had 100 people in it that we couldn't understand anything he was saying. I'd hate to see how that would sound on.
But he opened up from Metallica in Florida just a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Olympic Stadium.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I got you.
All right, man. So look,
All right.
love the groove, love it,
Mm-hmm.
love it. The drums and the bass in sync, like you wouldn't believe. I mean, I don't know if I can think of another Metallica song where it's like the rhythm section so in sync. The only thing is, and I love the groove, and first of all, you said there's a new Metallica song. So my first impression is like, well, what's it going to sound like? Because these guys have been 40 years into their career.
Mm-hmm.
We both love Megadeth, but you can say that kind of the same format for the last 40 years, where Metallica has been known to, rightly or wrongly, or enjoyable or not, explore a little bit, right?
Yep.
So now we say, okay, what's it going to sound like? So I hear the opening riff. I love the hum of the amplifiers at the beginning. And you're like, okay, this is not just your typical, revisiting Kill 'Em All kind of thing. And then you get into the groove, and you're like, and then James' vocals, and that's what I was hoping they would do something more mature, I guess would be the word. And they didn't disappoint with this song. The only thing is that when the solo finally came in, upon the first listen, I said, "What the hell's that?" I said, "What?" Like it didn't. Like it's like what? I didn't understand the solo. It's like,
It was a panic. It was a panic solo.
Yeah. Kirk Hammett. I mean, that guy's unbelievable, right? And these solos, we can name 10 solos that are our favorites from him easily. But this one, I'm like, so I said, I must have missed something because the rest of the song is fantastic. So let me go back and listen. And I'm listening. Okay, it didn't sound so bad the second or the third time. So, but that first listen, that solo came in, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. It's like they've progressed as a band on this song, but that solo takes you right back to like 1983,
But I think that's a lot of people saying it's got a Kill 'Em All feel. The only Kill 'Em All feel I hear is that solo, that panic.
Yeah,
Sort of like that panic solo, right?
It doesn't fit with the rest of the song as far as I'm concerned. But upon subsequent listens, it didn't bother me as much as that first listen. And I love that, Motorhead's overkill feeling, that false ending. They don't do it 10 times like Motorhead used to do, but they do it once or twice. So that's and they kind of do that at the beginning too. So I mean, I love it. And you know what? A Metallica song that's 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
When was the last time we had that?
Well, I mean, Hardwired to Self-Destruct had a few of those, right? They had a few of those. It's a continuation of that.
I don't know. I'm loving it. I'm loving it, man. Anxious to see what the rest of them are. Because at this stage of their careers, my point is, I guess what I'm trying to get. At this stage of their career, I don't want to hear Kill 'Em All. I don't want to hear Fade to Black. I want to hear Damage Incorporated. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear what is a mature band of these guys are in their late 50s. What are they doing that's going to separate them yet again from the pack? That's my hope for this album. And I'm not disappointed from what I heard today.
That's good. That's good. I kind of like it too. I think if you remove the vocals, it'd be a mighty fine Megadeth song. Dan, 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 dan. That stop and go if you really listen carefully, right? And even the solo is very Mustaine-ish, early Mustaine type solo, right? That's just mine. But I do like the clean vocals from James. Like, he used to be more rough, more, yeah-yeahs and more gruffy. But now he's really opening up the voice and he's sort of singing really clean. Is it the most memorable melody? Are you going to sing it in the shower after we're done here, Alan? Or while you're lying in bed? You're not. You're not going to remember this melody. But you will remember that it's a fun song to listen to.
Yeah. And again,
can you think of the melody right now?
No. I remember the amplifiers humming at the beginning and the amplifiers humming at the end. But again, you said last minute show. I didn't listen to it 600 times, Joe.
Well, you don't need to listen to it. And here's a good point. Where's the bass? I think we're going back to lowering the bass. I put on headphones and I'm going, where is the bass?
I listened to one section and the bass was complete. He was doing some amazing things. And it was the drums, like I said, they were in sync. They weren't doing their own different thing, or the bass was just duplicating what the guitars were doing. But then you're right. Then it's like, okay, but apart from that one little section,
the verse.
Where did the bass go after that?
Where did the bass go in the verse?
It seemed like that. I got to go back and listen to it. But the section I heard, that's one thing that stood out for me is Lars's drumming and being in sync. At least that little section of the song, I was thoroughly impressed. Now, but I remember afterwards saying, "Hey, how come that didn't happen more?"
So I know what you're saying. Sort of like when the riffs break away, then you hear the bass sort of playing with the guitar, the sort of the melody, right? But when he's playing the verse portion, it's just it just kind of disappears in the sound. And I found the drumming, and I don't want to be too. I did like the drumming, but in a way, it sounded programmed, like it was too perfect. I do like the drum sound, and I do like the pattern that he uses throughout the whole song. It's very, he does a great job, but it sounds very programmed if you ask me. I put it on my headphones, I listened to it out loud, heard it like 6 times. I don't know. Everybody, do you agree or disagree on the programming on the drums? Do you agree or disagree on the bass is way too low in the mix? Should have been a little bit louder. And what do you think about the vocals? Do you want that yeah, yeah, yeah? Or do you want the nice, clean vocals that James Hetfield is doing? Mike saying Lars wasn't sloppy for a change, but that's my point. I think he's better off being sloppy and sounding more real versus programmed.
I want to hear a mature band. I want to hear, James and I have one of our favorite bands, together is definitely Thin Lizzy, and a lot of things that was different. Nobody can blame them for doing the same thing all the time. That's for sure. But that's mature songwriting. That's where I want Metallica to go. And I think they've done it with this song. I can't wait to hear what the rest of the album is going to sound like.
All right. So just to give everybody, I did a little bit of research. I don't even know how to even Lux Æterna, because it's an A and an E, right?
Æterna.
Eterna.
Yeah,
Æterna. Æterna.
Don't keep going. I love it.
Lux, like in Lux Æterna, which is basically a religious Catholic chant when people are dying or have died. And that's kind of like the premise of it all. And I guess, I don't know where that picture of that album cover, you see that album cover?
I haven't seen anything, Jim.
Okay,
you woke me up and said we're doing a show.
Well, I mean, if you take a look at our little feed there's a little album cover there in the corner in the top right. It's like a baby crib and it's all black and like somebody, put a bomb in there or something. And yeah, it's really terrible. The album cover is not great, but yeah.
I think
actually had. Yeah, go ahead.
Lars's drumming is unbelievable on this, I think.
I think it's great too. It sounds so good. It sounds programmed.
It sounds programmed.
I don't know. Also, it's called the album 72 Seasons, and people are probably asking why. Why, Alan? Why is it called 72 Seasons?
Not a clue, man.
It's the Japanese calendar. They subdivide and they micro divide all these seasons into 72 seasons. We have 4 seasons, and they have 72. It's apparently every few weeks there's a season in Japan. So that's what it comes down to. So that's the whole concept. The concept that we were told from James. Who will be our parents? A possible pigeonholing around what kind of personality we are. I am the most interested. I think the most interesting part of this is the continued study of those core beliefs and how it affects our perception of the world. Much of our adult experience is reenactment or reaction to these childhood experiences. Prisoners of childhood or breaking free of these bondage we carry. So what he's trying to say is that they want us to be a certain person, or we're expected to be a certain person when we're kids, and then we kind of like break off into our own, but they want to keep us down. Something like that. Did you get what he was saying? I didn't get what he was saying.
Yeah, as long as you get it, I mean.
12 tracks on the album. 18, how many years has it been since our last one? 2000 and what, 16?
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 77 minutes.
Time flies.
77 minutes on this album. They like to write a lot of stuff. Produced by Greg Fieldman with Metallica's James Hetfield and, of course, Lars. 12 tracks, like I said, and there's a tour. What does everybody think about Pantera? I'm not a big fan of Pantera. I would have liked Raven instead.
So so just keep me current here. So you got Zakk Wylde.
Yes.
You've got Charlie Benante on drum.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Who you got on bass?
What's his face? The guy from Pantera. What's his
Yeah.
name?
Yeah. Okay. And who's
And Phil on singing, right? So it's like half the band, really.
okay.
Right? So night one,
Love Charlie. Charlie's a good guy.
and there's different versions of the opening acts in Europe versus in North America. But we got Pantera,
So when's
Mammoth.
the European tour finishing?
Well, it's kind of like mixed in with the North American tour. So they're starting off in Europe in April, Amsterdam, Paris, Hamburg, Gothenburg. Then they're coming to Canada, Montreal. Then they're going to Texas from Montreal. It's a long drive. Then they're going to California, St. Louis, and then they're going back to Europe. So in Europe, there are different opening acts. But in Canada, it's Pantera, Mammoth from Van Halen, and the second night it's Five Finger Death Punch and Ice Nine Kills.
So they're doing 2 shows in every city?
They're doing 2 shows in every city. Yeah.
Wow.
In Mexico, they might be doing 4.
And what did you say about mixing up 2 different set lists per night?
So what they said is, according to the press release, was that there'll be 2 different set lists. So let's say they're playing Montreal night 1, they'll have 1 set list, and night 2 they'll have a second set list. So people don't,
AKA 2 different set lists. Thanks for clarifying, Jim. That was for those of us that were
for those about to rock.
Cool. Thank you for telling me.
That's it. So what everybody else? Rate the new song out of 10, everybody. Put in your comments.
I'm giving a 8 because the solo would have put it at a 10.
Yeah. I would put it at 7 out of 10 because I really enjoyed the music portion, but I was not too keen about the memorability of the melody. But I do like it. So they're saying, Mike's saying 8.5. Michael's saying 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
Ben is saying 7.5 out of 10. So people are seem to like it. I got Ernesto saying the support bands suck. I'm not a big Pantera fan there, Alan. You know that. I'm not a big Pantera fan.
I'm not the biggest Pantera fan by any means. I'm glad we're doing our little top 10 list with Mr. Latori that he introduced us or reintroduced us to Pantera, and you can see why they were quite popular back in the day. But
your parents making.
I think it's nice that they're keeping the memory alive.
Yes.
Sometimes life has circumstances that we don't foresee, and careers come to an end prematurely. And people just want to hear the music. And I'm glad they're doing this as a dedication to their fallen friends. So,
you know what,
that's how I see it.
And I agree with you. And no disrespect to Pantera. There's people who love the band. I could see that online. People love this band. And you know what? If that's what makes them happy, all the power to them, right? Parent said it's called No Repeat Weekend. That's what it's called. That's the sort of the phrasing of the event. Because they're not repeating the same songs twice. All right. So what else we got? We got Ernesto's at 7, Parents at 9 out of 10. Rob is saying 8 out of 10. Worthy of a 1990s B-side, says John.
Oh, ow.
Oof. John Kutsadas says 8. Mike says, not sure Zach is the right guy to do this. He's referring to Pantera.
Zach was a great friend of Dimebag.
Yeah. And you can only hear Enter Sandman once. I guess you could only hear it once. That's true, right? What are the ladies going to say?
Okay, I got to think about that one.
Because you can't hear it twice on 2 nights. We said there's no repeat of the set list.
Okay.
So you can't hear it twice. But you could hear it in another city again. Jeannie saying,
I guess that's the larger
9 out of
question.
10.
What do people want to hear? Right? Are they going to do an 80s set list one night, or going to mix it up, or do you'd have to mix it up.
Yeah, you'd have to mix it up. Like, I would have liked to see what they did in Florida, like, the first 2 albums and with Raven. But it's not going to happen.
If we're going to get Raven, we might as well get Anvil. Let's get Anvil.
Get Anvil, get Raven. There you go. I think that's about it.
We know that, nobody wants Stryper.
Well, they should, but they don't want to put him on. What the fuck?
Here's another example of somebody disrespecting Stryper and not putting them on, giving them a chance.
You know what? The band sounds super tight to your point on this new song. The bass is kind of low. The drums sound kind of programmed, but overall, it's a pretty good song.
Yeah, at the beginning, I remember I heard the beginning. I said, I hope this is not the drum sound beat for the whole song because it was going to drive me crazy.
Look at this. Jeannie says, I was at the show in Florida and it was great. They brought out their A game. Raven played a short set, but we're good too. So there you go. It works. It works. Here's what scares me. What are the price of these tickets?
Hey, it's the price is the price, man. This is the cost to move things. These are big they're playing stadiums. That's not going to be a van with a couple of PAs in the back, man. This is, or a couple of 100-watt Marshalls. I mean, this is going to take some money and gas and travel and paying people these days. Everything's gone up. You got to buy milk for the after party show. That's costing a fortune. Heaven forbid you try to get a head of lettuce for the riders.
Would you pay $400 for one ticket?
I don't pay $400 for nothing, man.
Would people out there pay $400 for 2 nights?
I'm going to clubs. I'm getting away from the arenas. I'm going to clubs where you can buy a ticket for 40, 30. 30 would be good.
2 nights on the site, Metallica, $1,040 US for 2 nights.
Okay, but that's for 2 nights. That's a bargain.
$1,040? Cheapest price is $500 to $700 US for 2 nights. This includes ticket, shirt, and VIP. That's a lot of money. $500 to $700 US
per night.
Cheapest package for 2 nights. So you're paying, let's say, $700 US for 2 nights. So it's like $350 a night. That's US. So, put that Canadian, what is it, like 1,500 or something? $400 for nosebleeds. I paid $700 for a ticket.
You misread that. You misread that. Parents said it's $500 for us.
For us.
He's inviting us to go with him. He's paying.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay, I'm okay with that. He said for us, so he's going to pay for us. That's
good job, parent.
Thanks for putting it in writing. All right. I don't know. I think that's a lot. I think I'd rather go see Metallica in an arena than a stadium, especially the Olympic Stadium. But hey, if everybody's happy and everybody wants to do it and everybody's going to have a great night out, maybe that sort of round surround thing is going to be cool. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be a nice setup. Remember U2, they came here and they had that cool little roundy thing and people loved it. They paid like $400 or $500 for tickets.
With the Death Magnetic tour here, they did it in the stage was in the center of the arena.
It was the arena though. That's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
But it's not like this is not the first time they're doing this. They've done this on numerous previous tours. It's going to be on a bigger scale, and one half of the arena will be with empty seats because it won't have any seats in this particular case in Montreal. It's not like it's got a complete round bowl, right?
Yeah. So
Montreal that'll be the end of our building because it'll be crumbling. All the cement that's been there and cracking since 1976 will be complete destruction by the end of the night after Metallica plays. There might not be a second night. So I would only buy tickets to the first night because that building's not going to survive another night.
Yeah.
Here in Montreal.
John saying, is there any update on the new Metal Church singer? No update yet. Alan, have you heard any updates? Alan hasn't even seen the cover of the new Metallica album.
Metal Church? No, I haven't heard. My money's on Robert Mason. He replaces everybody. Warrant. Everybody. Robert Mason is, or our ever famous Ronnie Romero. There's a guy that plays with everybody and his uncle.
Ronnie Romero, yeah.
Ronnie Romero, Metal Church.
Yeah. You know what? I could see that happening.
Godhard, he'd have to leave Rainbow, he'd have to leave. There's too many to name.
All right.
Hats off to Ronnie. He's a working musician. Needs the bucks.
Andrew Freeman is saying Perrin. Perrin saying Andrew Freeman. I don't know. I wouldn't dig it with Andrew Freeman. He's too clean for Metal Church for me. It's not the voice.
This is
He's more of a Dawkins voice. Yeah. All right, that's it, folks. Ronnie is in 10 bands.
Yeah, I believe it. But give him a day. It might be an 11.
Ripper Owens? What do you think?
I like
Joe
that.
Lynn
Todd Michael
Turner?
Hall. What happened to him? Todd Michael Hall. He can sing.
He can sing.
Hey, that's
Claudio.
Hey. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that suggestion.
Yeah. Todd Michael Hall?
Yeah.
He was on The Voice.
I know. I don't know how long he lasted, but
he did good, man. But, the problem with that is when you're older like us, no one takes you serious on The Voice, even if you have The Voice.
They don't take any metal guy serious on The Voice. So.
Yeah, that's why we don't watch it. And you're better off watching the metal voice.
That's why we're not watching it.
All right, that's it.
I like that. Todd Michael Hall. Good suggestion, Mr. John Katsuras. Nice one, Re.
We're leaving. All right.
Okay.
Kainirta.